This tiny crocodile had just entered the world. It was smaller than my hand, but its story was about to surprise everyone. Instead of hiding like a wild animal, it slowly walked toward me. I had no idea what it was about to do. Then it gently grabbed my finger with its tiny jaws. It didn't hurt, but that little moment changed everything.
I carefully picked him up, expecting him to panic, but he stayed completely calm, almost like he already trusted me.
I made a tiny home just for him. The moment he touched the water, he started swimming like he belonged there. It was finally time for his first meal. He took one small bite, and I knew this was only the beginning.
A few days passed, and something amazing happened. Every time I came closer, he would swim right over to greet me. Feeding him became my favorite part of the day. Little by little, he trusted me more than ever before. Just a few weeks later, he was already growing fast. But no matter how big he got, he never forgot who raised him.
Before long, he started recognizing me. Whenever I walked by, he would follow me with his eyes.
I slowly reached out to pet him. To my surprise, he stayed perfectly still and seemed to enjoy the attention. He wasn't just growing bigger, he was developing a playful personality that made every single day.
Every single day, he was getting bigger. Soon, I realized he wasn't a tiny baby anymore.
His tiny little bites had turned into powerful jaws. I knew I had to be much more careful now.
Even though he was growing fast, he never acted aggressively toward me. That surprised everyone who saw us together.
One morning, I opened the tank, but he was nowhere to be found. My heart started racing.
I searched every corner of the room, hoping he hadn't escaped. Then I heard a tiny splash.
There he was, hiding behind a bucket, staring at me like it was all just a game.
At that moment, I couldn't stop laughing. He had scared me for no reason at all.
By now, our daily routine was simple. Eat, swim, explore, and somehow cause a little trouble.
But one day, something happened that completely changed the way I looked at him.
I accidentally dropped my keys into the water. Before I could reach them, he was already moving.
For a second, I thought he was going to swallow them. But what happened next left me speechless.
He carefully brought the keys back to me and gently dropped them right into my hand.
From that day on, I realized he was much smarter than I had ever imagined. He understood more than people believed.
Weeks turned into months, and my tiny baby crocodile was no longer so tiny. He was growing faster every single day.
People kept asking me the same question. Aren't you afraid of him? My answer always surprised them.
I always told them the same thing. Respect an animal, and it may learn to respect you back.
Even so, I never forgot one important fact. He was still a crocodile, and wild instincts can never disappear completely. That reminder made me even more careful. Loving a wild animal also means respecting its true nature.
One afternoon, I decided it was finally time to let him experience the outdoors. He froze for a moment, taking in every new sight, sound, and smell around him. Then he slowly walked toward a small pond, following instincts he was born with.
I watched every step he took. One wrong move could change everything in just a second.
The moment he touched the water, he came alive. It was like he had finally found his true home.
Watching him swim so naturally made me realize one thing. No matter how much I loved him, he belonged to the wild.
For a few minutes, I simply stood there and watched. He looked happier than I had ever seen him before.
Then he suddenly disappeared beneath the surface. I couldn't see him anywhere, and my heart started pounding. Just when I thought he was gone, he popped out of the water right in front of me, as if he was smiling.
At that moment, I knew he wasn't just my pet anymore. He was becoming exactly what nature had created him to be. Bringing him home had changed both of our lives. But every story has a moment when you have to let go. I knew I couldn't keep him forever. He deserved a life that no tank could ever give him. The next morning, I took him to a quiet wetland where crocodiles naturally live. It was time for the hardest goodbye of my life.
I opened the gate, but instead of leaving, he just looked back at me for a long moment.
After a few seconds, he quietly walked into the water. I watched until he finally disappeared from sight.
I thought that was the last time I would ever see him. But life had one more surprise waiting for me. A few months later, I returned to the same place, not expecting anything at all.
Suddenly, I noticed a familiar pair of eyes watching me from the water.
He slowly swam closer and stopped just a few feet away. Somehow, it felt like he still remembered me. We looked at each other without making a sound. Some bonds don't need words to be understood. Then, without a single splash, he turned around and disappeared into the wild, exactly where he belonged. As I stood there watching the water, I realized that loving a wild animal sometimes means letting it live the life it was born for. I'll always remember the tiny crocodile that once fit in my hand, and the incredible journey we shared together. Some friendships last a lifetime, even when you're miles apart. Thanks for watching, and never forget to respect nature.